Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. Today it is Saturday, the 27th of May at 6 a.m. It's not even that cold outside. It's cold enough for a fire for us, but not so cold that I don't want to go outside. Today, what we're doing is talking about bucket list photos. I've had a bucket list for a while for photos, and I'm happy to say I've already ticked off a few. I ticked off one of them. I've ticked off two of them a couple of years ago, probably a few years ago now, but I hit one of them again last weekend. I thought it was relevant to talk about this. I'm going to show you guys a video very, very quickly of one of these things, one of these bucket list photos. Scott Baker yells into the void, "Hello." That's unusual for Scott to be a smartass this early in the morning, Greg. I'll bring Greg on in a minute. I'll show you this and we'll have a chat about it. This is up in the Victorian High Country. I woke up in the morning. It was all overcast the whole time, and I woke up and there was some stars. So at 4 o'clock in the morning, I jumped in the car and drove for a couple of hours up through the bush like this to get to a place. So these huts are all through the high country. There's probably 100 or so up there, and they were used by the cattlemen as they drove cattle through the area, and they would stay in these huts, but not this one. This one here is actually a movie prop. It's never been used for cattle. It's never been used by drovers. It's never been used by cattlemen. It's only a movie prop from the Man from Snowy River, but it's one of the most iconic locations for landscape photography, certainly in the high country. And I've got a video coming about this, and that's the photo that I ended up with from that video that I shot, because the sky was just bloody horrible, but I'll explain that in the video. But it got me thinking about bucket list photos, bucket list of photography. And what I would like to do is bloody late ain't not late. We're on time. Pull your head in, Englishman. We got to thinking, well, I'm certainly thinking this way, as I'd like to build a bucket list of photography for the group, for the community. And we may come up with a number. Let's just say, for the sake of this conversation, we'll come up with, say, 20 locations all around the world, and you guys can fill that list. So here in Australia, there might be 2 or 3 of us who can get around to different places and fill that bucket list, if you like. You might have some places in Canada, someone like Greg or Scott Baker could get out there and take photos of that sort of thing. And we'll see, maybe by the end of the year, we can fill that bucket list. So we'll have a chat about a bucket list and why I think it's important for your photography journey. I'll show you my bucket list. Like I said, I've ticked a few off mine. And we'll see what we can build. I'll bring Greg on and we'll talk about it. G'day, Greg.
Hello, hello.
Don't say g'day like you did earlier. I'll get demonetized.
G'day.
That's right.
And in Andy Green's defense, he's saying bloody late, ain't I? Not
ain't
bloody late.
Oh, it's all the exclamation marks. I thought it was bloody late, ain't I? Yeah, all right.
Okay. I got your back, Andy.
I'll give you How's the weather, mate?
Hey?
How's the weather?
Oh, good. Yeah, we've got we have about a week of sunshine ahead of us, and my only concern about that is that the lawn might get a little brown because it's absolutely zero rain in the forecast.
Oh, I see. So how often would you, in through this time of year, would you normally water your lawn?
I don't, because we have to pay for our water usage in the city here, right? It's on a meter.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's
we pay for our water too. It's not expensive. We might spend a few $100s a year, sort of thing.
I spend probably close to $300 every 3 months. But it's water, sewage, all this other stupid crap they put on it. It's just part of living in the city I live in.
So you're
If I
actually in
lived
the
it,
city, eh?
yeah, if I lived in the country, I'd just use my well water, no problem. No, I don't have to pay
Okay,
for it.
okay. I don't know many people around here who have wells. Oddly enough, I think it's probably because the salt table's down there with it. I'd say there's a few people
Yeah.
that have it, but not many. We've got
Oh
creeks
yeah.
and rivers and irrigation channels all around the place. If we were English, if this was an English conversation, we'd be complaining about the weather.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Lives in the burbs. You live on the water, don't you, Scott Baker? Don't you live on the coast somewhere? The amount of yeah, he does because he does that like fishing and stuff. Isn't that his family business, like
I think so.
trawler
Something like that.
fishing or
Yeah.
something like that? Yeah. So you're familiar with bucket lists, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not necessarily specifically for photography, but like this was all. It was around before that movie, but that
Oh
movie
yeah.
was all about things to do before you died, sort of thing.
Right.
And this was before you kicked the bucket. What I'll show you guys briefly is my photography bucket list, and the reasoning behind some of these. I'll just add that to the stream as well. And this place, this here is the album cover of Midnight Oil, Diesel and Dust. It was one of my favorite albums growing up, and it's this building it's an abandoned farm in a place called Burra in South Australia. It's about 4 to 5 hours from where I am, maybe 6 hours. And my goal behind this photo, and I haven't been there yet, here's another photo of the same building, is to go here and get a galactic core shot behind this building. I think that would be an epic photo. So that's always been something that's on my list. The lawn looks like it needs watering. Oh my God. Holy moly. He pays $1,000 a year for, wow. There we go. There's one for the list already. Northern Lights. That makes sense too.
Mm-hmm.
Mine, I try to keep mine financially realistic in that, am I ever going to get to like Iceland or somewhere up there where I can photograph this? Possibly not. All of these are within striking distance of me.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that in mind for a project that I'd like to kick off here. This is a place called Cradle Mountain. It's in Tasmania. Yeah. Hey, Dreg.
Yeah.
So
that was a good one.
It was a good one indeed. Very good indeed. Cradle Mountain is in Tasmania. It's in a national park. It's one of the most photographed places in Tasmania, I would say, for sure. There are different times of the year where this is covered in snow. And again, this sort of photo with the galactic core. And I'm thinking with this sort of photo, because it's so far away, you can't get that. You can walk all over it. But from a photography point of view, you've got to be this sort of distance away, like it is in that photo. You'd probably do what Russell Brown does in the Blue Hour photo, and then do a composite of the galactic core afterwards. This is part of, well, this was what was called the 12 Apostles, but you can see my cursor on the screen? Yeah. Yep. Some of them have fallen down, so there's not 12 of them anymore.
Oh,
so
wow.
We'll just call it the Great Ocean Road, because there's a road. This is down the southern side of where I live. It's about 3.5, 4 hours away from me. And the road is probably the most policed speed limit road in the country, because it's a nice sweeping, winding road down the coastline. It just says like open the throttle and go as fast as you possibly can. But from a photography point of view, down along the Great Ocean. Well, the road, that's a fair point, because the road is in pretty bad condition, like most roads that we have here. Oh, it's a shit road, but it's a very scenic sort of a road, you know?
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth heading there and getting a number of shots. For this here, you could certainly do galactic core stuff, because at the right time of year, because it's south, like on this photo here, to the left of this is Antarctica. It's like there's nothing there. So the light pollution would be reasonably good. But drone photography here would be epic. Absolutely epic.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
There's one called Craig's Hut. We've already spoken about that. And I've got a few photos of Craig's Hut. One of them I've actually got on my wall. It's a nice big glass printed panorama. I think I've sent photos of that to you, Greg.
Yeah.
And it's an epic photo. Absolutely love it. And I went up there to replicate this photo, and it was just blown out skies. It was just shit weather. But hey, what can you do? This one here, unfortunately, it's not a very big photo. Hopefully you can see it okay. This is in Japan. There's two photos on the bucket list for me in Japan. This is one of the shrines. It's a pretty famous shrine. It's near Kyoto. It sits out in the water. So a long exposure photo for this would be amazing. And it at high tide, it's in the water. At low tide, you can walk out and touch it.
Oh, neat.
But yeah, there's lots of photos of people all gathered around it during low tide. But it would certainly be, from my point of view, from what I do on the channel here with the long exposure stuff, that just would be awesome.
Yeah.
This one here is called Kabari. It's a national park in Western Australia, and it's one of the few places that we have here where there's nice. So I've got Mount Hope near me, the rocky outcrops that I shoot some videos at, but it's nothing like this. They're very, very different looking rocks. And there's certainly places through like Death Valley in the States where the rock formations are very similar to this. And I look at this and I go, galactic core all over this, like star trail photography, that sort of thing here in this location. It'd be epic.
That would be good. Yeah. And it looks like it's higher than Hope Mountain.
Everything is higher than Mount Hope, mate. Everything is.
Oh, yeah.
So Mount Hope is, I actually don't know how high it is. But if it was like 40 meters, I'd be surprised. It's only because everywhere here where we live is dead set, so flat. And Mount Hope, there's a bloke many years ago, there was a guy named Major Mitchell, and he mapped out a lot of where I live. So he was one of the first early explorers of the country, and he traveled all down through the Murray, all through New South Wales. I think he even went up to Queensland and that in South Australia. He went a long way and mapped out a lot of the country. And there's a historical route all through the country called the Major Mitchell Trail, and you can basically follow where this guy went all through Australia and mapped it out. And when he came to our location here, because it's so flat and he's like running low on water and everything, and he couldn't work out where's the water. I'm going to die if I don't find water soon. And he found this high point with all these rocks, rocky outcrops, and that was like his hope to find water. That's why it's called Mount Hope.
Oh, yeah.
So he climbed up Mount Hope, and then he saw in the distance all this green tree line, which was the Murray River, and then he headed there and got water. So that's why it's called Mount Hope. That was an interesting story. Eh?
Yeah.
So Western Australia, it's certainly within striking distance for me, but it's a plane trip and then a car trip, and to get to this location, it's a 4-wheel drive trip. But it's certainly something that we could do. This here is another one obviously in Japan. The Torii Gates. This is also in Kyoto. This is a very popular tourist place. I think it looks amazing. The colors in this is just ridiculous. And in my head, you got the long exposure stuff that we do here for landscape photography. I think in this location, the long exposure photography will help remove the tourists from the photo.
Oh, yeah.
So that's there for thinking for that one. This is another bloody small photo, and you can't see it. I'm really sorry. I should have checked this before I threw it up here. This is a place called Wave Rock. It's also in Western Australia, and it's about 20 meters high. And I'm just going to see if I can find a better photo of this thing.
Well, just hit the zoom up there to just see what it might look all right. Just zoomed in a bit. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
On screen, cool. It looks not bad.
Okay, on my screen it looks shit,
Yeah.
but it's basically like this big wave of a rock, and it's about 20 meters tall, maybe 30 meters tall. It's huge, and you can do some amazing. The photos that I've seen of this place is just ridiculous. It's I've seen astrophotography here. I've seen long exposure, awesome sunsets. In Western Australia, they get amazing sunsets because that's where the sun's setting over the water there and nice reflection and stuff. It's always good. So that's another one for me. And the last one I'll show you is actually in New Zealand. And this, if you're into landscape photography, you probably know that tree because it's a very, very famous tree. This is called the Wanaka tree in a place called Wanaka in New Zealand, down the South Island of New Zealand. I've been there. This isn't my photo. I've got a photo that I've taken of this one on, where is that? It's on the wall in our bedroom. It's a nice big print. But that is certainly striking distance from me as well. It's only a trip across on my plane. And I think I'll head back there at some point to shoot a heap of content for the channel and do this same photo with phones, the long exposure, because it's very famous for long exposure and astrophotography, this tree. At high tide, it's like that. At low tide, it's way down. That's my bucket list.
Cool.
Any questions? There will be a test.
So, obviously those are all pretty realistic goals, I'd say, for you.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. Yep.
Certainly at a cost, though. I mean, it's not going to be cheap to just fly and drive and all that stuff to get to those places. But I mean, certainly doable.
Yeah. Some of them are a drive. Like the Great Ocean Road's a drive. Burra, like the Midnight Oil building, that's a drive. It's a weekend away sort of thing.
And just so you know, I've got beds of burning in my head ever since I saw that picture before.
It's so funny to talk to someone on the other side of the world who listens to music that I grew up with. Like, what? And like
oh, that was a popular song over here.
Oh, really?
Big time. Oh, yeah.
So you listen to INXS, Midnight Oil, Silverchair? Do you listen to Silverchair?
No, haven't heard of them.
No, that would be Powderfinger.
No,
you got to look at those ones. If you like INXS and Midnight Oil, you'll almost certainly like Silverchair, and you will definitely like Powderfinger. They're all pretty good Australian bands. Yeah,
cool.
So those who are watching, I know that there's some guys there in the States, there's some guys in the UK, Canada. I'm curious as to where you guys are. What are the most iconic places where you are to take a photo? Because I think this is a good idea to get a bit of community. Silverchair rocks, yeah. I think it would be a good idea to get a list, and in the community that we have, to fill that list. I think that'd be a cool project to do. What do you reckon?
Well, that'd be cool. I don't know how much I could contribute to something like that because we just don't go anywhere.
Peggy's Cove. I've never heard of Peggy's Cove. Have you?
That is a really popular spot in Nova Scotia. It's very popular. I know people, friends of mine right in town here that have been there and taken pictures of it. Famous lighthouse.
Lighthouse. Gotcha. Yeah. I'm just going to share my screen again so people can see what it actually is.
Now, Scott, how far are you from there?
I'm going to start making a list. Look at this, old school.
Nice.
I'm sitting on a computer with notepads and everything on here, but I'm going to use a pen.
Yeah.
How far is Scott? 2 hours.
2 hours. That's not bad.
That's doable. Peggy's Cove.
That's like me going to Toronto.
Well, surely there's something to photograph in Toronto.
There is. I saw a photo on, I think it was on Instagram recently. A guy down there, he obviously used photo pills and everything else to get this shot, but he positioned himself so that the CN Tower
Yep.
is right in line with the sun setting, either sun setting or sun rising. And he got the sun right at the very tip of the CN Tower.
Yep.
It was really
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. Was it a one frame job though?
Oh yeah, because he put different shots as it's approaching, and
Oh,
then
okay. Yeah, nice.
and then bang, he hit it right on the
Nice.
money.
That's
Yeah, it was a
awesome.
good shot.
There's a friend of mine who does that market that we go to in Canberra. Very, very good photographer, Glenn Martin, I think his last name is. He does a lot of landscape and astro stuff around Canberra. And there was a photo that he had there. There's a I think it might be called the Telecom Tower or something in Canberra. It's an iconic looking building up on the top of this hill. And where he lives, he can basically put a nice big long lens on his camera in his apartment, put on a tripod, and it's like right there. It's like he's just in a ripper spot to take photos of this place. And he has some amazing photos of it. It's like going to the most iconic location in your state, country, whatever, but you live there. So you could just go, oh, your light looks good. I'll take some photos. He's very lucky. Don't get me wrong. He's very talented at what he does. And he had a photo there of the moon right at the top and behind the tower. And I'm like, yeah, is that real or not? He went, nah, it's not. But no, that's a composite. He said, that's the moon there that I used for this photo. That's fair enough.
Oh, yeah.
But it was, when you said the sun behind that tower, I thought, was it though? Was it really?
Oh yeah, it definitely was. Yeah.
So what about where you are, Greg? What about your list, I should say? Not so much where you are. What about a list?
Okay, my list. Well, some of it would require some travel, and I'm going to try to share my screen.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Okay, can you see that? It should be us.
There's us. You broke the internet.
Now, how's that?
Yep.
Are you seeing something different there?
The redwood. Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
So these are giant redwoods on the west coast of North America. They start in California and go right up to British Columbia in Canada. And some of these things are massive, like over 300 feet high. And I would just love. Oh, they're huge.
That's like 100 meters or something, right?
Pardon?
That's like 100 meters or something, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like they're massive. And there's some that have been bored out, and you can actually drive through the. I don't know if those ones
in a car.
Yeah. I've seen pictures back in the 50s or so, where they had basically dug a tunnel through one where cars could drive through it as a tourist attraction.
Wow. So what's this actually called? This place?
Well, this particular one I don't know, but I mean it's anywhere from probably mid to northern California, right up the coast up to British Columbia.
Okay.
And I saw I don't know if it was a National Geographic special, but there was a photographer who wanted to capture this one big tree. So he was in a harness where he could be lifted up, and he took.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
He took all these different frames, pictures as he was going up, and put them all together. It almost looked like a whole whack of photos laying on the floor to make this tree. And the only thing I remember about what he used was a Nikon camera, but these things are just so amazing. And what makes me want to do this is I'm inspired by this picture that Ansel Adams took and I have a print of it on my wall here, and it's I don't know if it's at the edge of the forest or just how he positioned himself when he took this shot, but it's just looking at something similar to this, but without a path in it, and it's black and white, and it's just one of my favorite Ansel Adams shots, and I would just love to go out and take these, photograph these trees. I think it would be really cool.
So what sort of trees are they? Do we know?
Oh gosh,
Here we go. Been to the Mike Goyne.
I think they're
redwoods in California.
pine.
Drive through.
I'm not sure if they're pine or what they are, but they're just.
I'm going to put it on the list as redwoods. How about that?
Yeah, giant redwoods. So another place that I would love to go and not stay for long, but just go and take some pictures is New York City.
Right.
Like at this bridge, and there's a whole pile of iconic places in New York City. It would be great for street photography. I could probably spend a week there.
Yeah.
Doing all the different kinds of things, street photography, night photography, like this bridge. Just
what bridge is that? Does anybody know?
I'm going to guess the Brooklyn Bridge, but I don't know. I'm not familiar with them all that much. Yeah, Brooklyn Bridge. And cool. there's a Times Square, which is a real busy, popular tourist attraction. Places like that. There's just so much stuff to do, and that would be something that I would love to do sometime. And again, requires travel and all that stuff going across the border. And
what I'm hoping for here is if we can, we've got a pretty wide sort of reaching community with the Bloody Legends group and your podcast group. Surely we can get someone that's close to New York or in New York to go and take photos of these things for a list,
Yeah. I mean, even Rick Salmon lives not too far from New York City.
Okay.
But yeah, I just think that the history and all that stuff would be a great place to photograph.
Yeah.
And then next on my list is to make a giant, as big of a print as I can, now that I have a 48 megapixel camera.
Yep.
So this is one of the first 48 megapixel shots I did that I really like, but I don't think it would make a really nice big print. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe I've looked at it so much I just don't think it will anymore.
Yeah.
But to me, it's nice, but it's not that interesting to spend, whatever it would cost to get a print done. And when I say big, I'm talking like maybe 4 feet by 5 feet.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, I want to go big. And
how's that going to look at 48 megapixel, that sort of size? Well, it's not going to look as good up close and personal.
I don't think it'll look too bad.
Yeah.
And again, it depends on the image, right? This one here, I don't know. I like it. I just don't know if it's interesting enough to make that big of a print with it. And I doubt anybody would even buy it. But that's something that I aspire to do sometime. I just got to get the right shot to do it. And I got to stop using the damn telephoto camera, but it's my favorite one out of the three.
Cool.
So
do we have more?
I got one more, and that is to be picked up by Apple in the Shot on iPhone campaign. I've been tagging every damn picture I take on social with a shot on iPhone, and haven't been selected yet. But it's if I ever got selected for that, even if it's just featured on freaking Instagram, I would be happy. I would say mission accomplished.
Didn't one of the Bloody Legends in the Bloody Legends group get featured by, I want to say, Google? And I've got a feeling it might have been Reese Boyd, maybe. It may not be him.
Well, he's an iPhone shooter. I think he did get featured by a shot on. Like I think he was featured on Instagram, shot on iPhone by Apple.
Oh, was that? Was it? Oh,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I think so.
Or was it Dale with the Star Trails?
Oh, maybe it was Dale.
Oh, yeah, it might have been.
Yes, it was Dale.
Yeah. That's cool. That's very cool. It was
Yeah,
Dale.
oh, there's Reese. Reese says it was Dale. Sorry, Reese.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Andy Green, the place of the Reheld screen recording today. That was quite cool. I saw it just before we went live.
Yeah, that was neat.
That's really neat.
I put one on too. A Reheld thing that I did.
Yep.
I don't do many reels, but I thought that one warranted making a reel out of.
I was spewing, mate. I went up to the high country, and there's water everywhere, like water, like fast flowing creeks and streams and stuff. So it's like lots of white water all over the place. So I could do some long exposure stuff. And there's no reception there, no cell service. And I get up there, and I'm like, right, it's going to be a weekend. And in my head, I was doing a weekend. I was going to use all the apps with all that fast flowing water. Get up there, re-expose says, hey, you got to pay for this now. And Reheld says, you got to pay for this now. I'm like, I fucking have paid for this. What the hell's going on? I couldn't work it out. And I think what's happened was, and I spoke to the guys, and I'm sorted now. But I think what happened was because of the test flights, maybe. Because maybe I paid for it when I was in the test flights. So I do pay for these things, guys. I don't just like, hey, give me that shit for free. I go and pay for these apps. And I was gutted. I got up there. It's like, Reheld it. Sweet. You've reached the limit of your 10 photos. I'm like, no. I paid for this. What's going on? Anyway, it's all sorted out. I'll get up there again and I'll be doing that video. I saw his this morning, that Reheld, and that's a pretty ripper spot there too. And it's amazing what that app and that screen recording that he had. I think that's just the shit. Very impressive.
Yep.
I live in the UK, Humber Bridge. Now, I've Googled Humber Bridge while Greg was talking, but I'm going to put on the screen because I don't know if is that the one you're talking about? It doesn't look like it's all full of UK goodness. It looks like it's more American. Yeah. It does, doesn't it? And like that to me,
it looks a lot like the Golden Gate Bridge.
History UK. That's the bridge, I reckon.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair game. I don't know. Should we put that on the list?
Sure.
Bridge to my window, built 42 years ago. It's the longest single span bridge in the world. That alone, yeah, we should put that on the list, I reckon. Humber Bridge.
Now that's to say, 42 years ago when it was built, it was. I don't know if it is now.
Yeah, I see. Yep, gotcha. Top of my bucket list: Chena Hot Springs, Alaska. Wow. Yeah, that'll do.
Oh, yeah.
That'll do. Bloody
okay, oath. Mike. Get up there.
Yep. On your bike, Mike. On your bike.
On your bike, Mike.
This is going to be hard because, like, I know that Mike doesn't live near there, so we have to find someone who lives near there. And to get the Northern Lights, we might have to say Northern Lights will do, not necessarily at Chena Hot Springs, but
yeah.
What else we got here? Oh, that's the redwoods that he was talking about. Popular places that I know of in the US: Niagara Falls, Grand Canyon, the Wave. I don't know what that is. Most of the other ones, it's pretty obvious. Wave. Wow. This is ridiculous. Have a go at that. That's amazing.
Oh, neat. Yeah, that's
I
cool.
look at this sort of photo and I go, I just know there's a guy somewhere at the bottom of one of these things. He's fallen off his mountain bike. He's going to have to cut his arm off.
Yeah. Now they look like, I don't know if it's the same place or not, but that looks like some of the wallpapers that Apple put on the Mac
Oh,
um,
yes.
in I forget which version it was. We're on Ventura now. Might have been the last one.
You might be right. And look, that's why it probably looks familiar. I'm going to put that on the list. That's awesome. The Wave.
Yeah, that is a cool looking place.
Now, when we need someone to take photos of this, Reese Boyd.
Yeah.
And he's a gun photographer. What else we got here? The Grand Canyon. Should we put that on there? Niagara Falls, Death Valley. Should we put them on there?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Niagara Falls, but make sure you put the Canadian side. It's the better falls.
Is it?
Yeah, there's two sets of falls. The Horseshoe Falls is the main one. That's on the Canadian side of the border. And the American Falls is on the other side.
Canada.
You could shoot it from the US side.
Yep.
But I mean, but the Horseshoe Falls, which is on the Canadian side, it's really, really cool.
Shoot it in black. Yeah, that makes sense too. I don't know if you saw on that that chat. I'll just bring it over here so other people can see it. This photo that who sent that? Probably Scott. That's that bridge that you had, the Brooklyn Bridge.
Yeah, the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah,
that would be awesome, black and white.
Yes, I've seen some amazing black and white pictures of
it. How good is that wave? That's awesome. I'd love to go see that.
Oh yeah, that's neat.
When did they add a telephoto to the? It's 2.5, mate. What's wrong with you? 2.5 times. It's like this big.
Yeah. Well, let's just say they call it a telephoto.
St. Louis Arch.
Oh, the St. Louis Arch. Yeah, I've seen that. When I was about 15 years old, we went down to Missouri and we drove through St. Louis, and it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I've seen photos of this.
Yeah. Yep.
I reckon we should add that. That's a cool photo. And if that's not far from Mike, he's a gun night photographer. Look at that photo. We're looking at you there, Nine.
Be a bit of a drive, I think, for him. I'm not sure.
Oh, is it?
I think so. You know what? Maybe not as far as I think. Not as far as I think.
Okay. We're getting a good list here, mate.
Oh yeah.
This is quite cool. No, but it's a lot. Oh, I see. Cow Swamp. That's where I go. It's like near me here, and it's actually called Gow Swamp. It's an Aboriginal name. It's like GHOW, maybe something like that. And we would normally just write it down as Cow Swamp with a K, but it's the original name of it, or the naming of it is Gow Swamp. We just call it Cow Swamp.
Oh yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's on the bucket list there, Andy. Patrika, he's not banned from like every platform on the internet at the moment.
Yeah. That's gold.
I honestly didn't see that.
That's awesome.
That's funny. Oh, there we go. The Wave is a Windows wallpaper.
Okay, maybe the Apple ones are a different spot that look kind of something like that.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it on a wallpaper somewhere, I reckon. That's funny. Yeah. That's hilarious. What about where Patrika lives? Because he takes about bloody epic photos of like old castles and stuff, I reckon. I've seen him take photos of that sort of stuff.
Well, okay, you know what? You could add that to my bucket list is Great Britain, Scotland, Ireland. There's some absolute, just amazing old buildings there. And oh man, it would be a dream to come true if I could ever get over there to take pictures of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you might as well say Italy too, for that matter, like Rome.
Yep.
You know, the Colosseum and things like that is just amazing.
So there's at least 2 guys on here from the UK.
Yeah.
What's in the UK worth shooting that you can't complain about?
Oh gosh.
Who
Even
is in here?
just
Andy's.
things in London.
Yeah, but
Like,
what though?
you know, for those who live there, they might think, you know, boring. But I mean,
Yeah.
for those of us in the world who have never been there, it would be something to see.
Like London, like Tower Bridge, you think?
Yeah, you know, the Tower Bridge and
they're remarkably quiet. The guys that are from the UK, they're
yeah.
like, "Oh no, I don't want to do anything."
Yeah, they don't want to. They don't want to have to
Don't-
go to these places.
Don't make me go there and take one. Lots of castles.
Wales is another nice spot. Yeah,
they're Douglas fir trees. Not sure. Scott said that was something different, but hey, you got to take the word of the Beach Boy.
Yeah,
absolutely. So I've got Peggy's Cove, the giant redwoods, or Douglas fir trees, the Brooklyn Bridge, Humber Bridge, what was that the hot springs? What I wrote that down wrong. China. So I'm thinking this is China. No, China. So there's no northern lights in China, surely. The Wave. That's going to be interesting to find someone to go photograph that.
Yeah,
that's going to be way out of there. Niagara Falls. That's not far from you, Greg.
Not really. About 3.5 hours. About 3.5, 4 hours.
Well, that's well within striking distance. For sure. The Peak District in London. Is that near you, Andy? The Peak District? I can't remember. I know, like, to me, I look at a map and I go, the UK is this big, and I drive that far on a weekend. But I know that you'll cry if you've got to travel this far. Oh, here we go. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yes, that would be neat.
The Abbey at Whitby. Really? Shut up. That looks awesome. That's incredible. I would love to photograph that.
Yeah.
What an awesome place. Awesome place. Oh, Andy's in northern UK. Park District. So, Graham, are you from there? Looking at your, what does that say? Grimsby Town FC football club. I'm guessing that's a soccer thing. He's got to be in the UK. Or football thing. Football, not soccer. Bloody idiot.
Yep.
Yeah. So he might be close to this place. Are you close to this? I'm going to put that on the list. I reckon that's an awesome building. Whitby Abbey. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. North Lincolnshire. I don't know. Is that near that? You have to go back and have a look-see. Yeah. I reckon we've got a pretty good list here. I'm going to see if we can build on that. So okay, about 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's in striking distance. I'm going to add that to the list too. I reckon because there's going to be more people who will contribute to this, I'm sure, than what's in the live stream right now. What we don't have here is much from actually anything through Europe. We've got a bit of the States, a bit of Canada, and a bit of the UK, but nothing. Where's Patrika? Is he still in here? What's near you that you can photograph, mate? This
That's an iconic location.
Yeah. So I'll get there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you. That helps. Because I reckon I could get someone from Kiwi Land to go and shoot the Wanaka tree for us, like Dave, Aperture Tales Dave. He does some amazing stuff. And we could certainly get some stuff from close to where I am. But something in through Europe. I'm not sure. We haven't got anything from there. Maybe Patrick is gone. He got banned already.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh dear, oh dear. Very good. Well, I think that's a pretty good start to a list, mate. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to give you an idea of how far it is from one side of Canada to another, if you were to go from Vancouver, BC to St. John's, New Brunswick, or no, sorry, Newfoundland, there's a St. John, New Brunswick, it would be to drive, I think it would be about 5,000 kilometers.
Okay.
That's a pretty long drive.
I'm wondering now what.
Oh no,
else?
sorry. Driving distance is 7,000.
Okay. Long distance of longest drive. I'm not sure what it is here, because most of ours is like the big trips that you have in Australia is like around Australia. Yeah. So I honestly don't know. I can't find anything here to show. I would say that would be bigger, surely. Canada's bigger than Australia, is it? I don't know.
Oh, heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Okay. Hell yeah. Oh, okay. Canada.
I can't even pronounce that.
Trying to see if I can find.
That thing. Oh yeah, he has taken a few photos of this. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, what's this? Then why don't you come to the west coast of British Columbia on Vancouver Island and go Tofino? Do you know what these places are?
Hang on a second.
You trying to see if Canada's bigger than Australia?
Yeah, I was looking at the land area of Canada, and it is. It's the second biggest country in the world, next to the Soviet Union or Russia or whatever they call it. It is 9.98 million square kilometers.
9.8 million square kilometers.
Yeah, 9.98, almost 10 million square kilometers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's fairly big then, is what you're trying to say.
Oh yeah, it's big.
This place looks pretty decent. There's Blue Springs.
Missouri. Where's that?
In Missouri.
Well, that's in Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I wonder what sort of photo you could get with this sort of one. There's definitely potential there, isn't there?
Yeah.
There was a place that I went to in New Zealand as well. I'll talk to Dave from Aperture Tales, Dave, and see if he can get there. There was a place, I think it was north of Queenstown, called Blue Springs. All the water, see that really deep bluish aqua color in this photo? All the water was like this everywhere. It was an amazing place. And for long exposure, I'm going to have to go back there just to shoot some content. There's too much there for long exposure not to do it. It's it like New Zealand's full just a long exposure photographer's dream. What about Transylvania? Is that anywhere near him? Near Patrica?
I think it is.
There we go. Oh, we'll get some more. I'm gonna send Patrica some messages, and we'll build. I'm gonna say build a list of. We'll say 20, and if we do it in the next few months, well, we might even put a calendar together. That'll be all right.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'd like to see somebody get a shot of Lake Louise.
Oh yes, for sure. I'm gonna put that on the list. That's a good one. Yeah, cool. I reckon that's a pretty cool project. If we can, we'll work out the logistics behind doing it, and get some stuff sorted out. There we go.
There's the road. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that one.
Wow.
That's cool.
That's amazing. That's just ridiculous. That's got to go on the list too. Looks like Patrica's going to be busy.
Now, Patrica, is that where they shot the movie?
I'm just hoping that's in the same country. He may not be allowed to be in there. They may not let him in.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing, isn't it? Oh, look, none of the people have heads. Is that a Dracula thing?
Yeah, maybe.
Look at the history. It blows me away. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Alice Springs in Missouri. There's a few there. I reckon we should be able to get a list of good 20, and then we might vote on, say, get the top 12, and we'll get some calendars done. I reckon that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm happy with that. I think we've achieved something this morning.
Yeah.
Or this evening, wherever anyone is. Yes. Anything else that you want to talk about, Greg?
I'm going to try to get Scott Kelby on the podcast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He was on a live stream with Jefferson Graham yesterday, and they were talking about the new Photoshop beta that's got all the AI stuff in it.
Yep.
I mean, there's a show right there.
Yeah,
show topic right there talking about this AI stuff in photography. But, he was talking about what you could do with it. And that, of course, because Kelby teaches this stuff, right? But he's also written a book about iPhone photography and all this stuff. So I thought it'd be good to have him on there. And Patrica says Brand Castle. That's the one that's sold as the Dracula Castle. Has nothing to do with Vlad
the Impaler.
No. Yeah, that's a story too. So that's Vlad.
Oh, I see. I'm glad I didn't have my screen on live then. That would have been annoying. A few spelling mistakes, and you don't want to see what came up. Okay. Okay. That's yeah. Why not?
Oh yes, that does look familiar now.
You see, now what you're saying here is that this is sold as Dracula's Castle, but has nothing to do with that. And then I go, well, it's the same as Craig's Hut. It's sold as a cattleman's hut, but it was never used for cattlemen. Just for the movie, like that one. Yeah. Interesting. So, try and get Scott Kelby on the show, on your podcast?
I reached out to him. I sent him a message there yesterday, so I haven't heard back anything yet. But
yep,
I think it'd be a good conversation to have with him.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, very good. Well, let's keep us in the loop, mate. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I see. Scott also put a photo of that tower. I just realised it was there, near you.
Oh yeah. Hey, that's the
Toronto.
CN Tower. It's
Yep.
it. I don't know if it still is, but it was the world's tallest freestanding structure for years.
Mm.
Might still be. I'm not
Mm.
sure. I don't know if it's
Yep.
still considered that or not. But it's
Yep.
about. I think it was. Here I am, Canadian. I don't even know, but I think it might be like 1,800 meters high.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair enough, mate. You don't need to know that.
I should know that.
Why should
I've
you
been
know
to
that?
it because I've been to it.
I've been
I've
across
been
the
up in
Sydney
the.
Harbour Bridge too, but I couldn't tell you how wide it is.
Oh no, it's only 553 meters, so about 1,800 feet, I think.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Have
So
a contest. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Let me think more about that. I've got my old Pixel phone there, which I'll probably end up giving away at some point. That seems to be the go with the Pixel phones. They don't retain their value very well. So I buy the Pixel phone just to do some video content with it, and then go, yeah, well, it's time to get rid of that. I don't mind that idea. A contest for it. Look for that word. Whatever it is that he's saying there. Just let me.
It almost looks like it ruins right now. I'm just looking at it.
TATA.
Well, you could just copy and paste that.
I can't copy it out of there because on my side it's only just putting it on the screen or taking it off the screen.
Oh, I see.
I would have otherwise. That's the one.
Yeah.
Wait, are they dead bodies hanging from the front there? Oh, look here. What the hell?
That's what Vlad the Impaler did to people.
Wow.
Yeah, if you
oh wow.
If you look up the history of Vlad the Impaler,
yep,
it's completely disgusting what he did.
That's crazy. Wow. Well, looks like Patrick is going to look at that. I hope that is this. I hope they don't. This is, I think, is from the Pixel comment.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, let me think about that. We'll stew it over a little bit and see. I want to work out a way that we would get it done. I'm not a huge fan of the whole Facebook competitions where you like most likes win and all that sort of shit. It does. I don't really like that.
Well, I think we should put together a judging panel.
That's an idea. Look at the ideas on you. Yeah. I reckon we get someone like Ralph.
Yeah.
To come in on that. Ralph's a gun photographer, and he's like he's like part of our community, but he's not like in here all the time. So
right, yeah,
he'd be impartial. Yes, I like that idea.
The look you had in your eyes there when you said yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, man. Let's wrap this up. It's good to see you again, obviously.
Yeah,
as usual.
Me too. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining. We had some good ideas there. Really good ideas.
Yeah, I can't wait to see this all come through.
Yeah, you'll hear more about this soon. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Alrighty. See you, everybody. Thanks.